Hello and welcome to the Appiah Counselling Podcast. I'd like to start today's episode with a question that might seem simple at first, but the more you think about it, the more important it becomes. Which thoughts deserve your attention? In the last episode, we explored whether every thought should be believed. Today, I'd like to take that one step further, because even if a thought isn't true, it can still capture your attention. And where your attention goes, your emotional energy often follows. Let's explore that together. Imagine you're walking through a busy city. Hundreds of people pass you every minute. Some catch your eye, most don't. Your thoughts work in a similar way. Psychologists estimate that we experience thousands of thoughts every day. Some are helpful, some are random, some are creative, some are repetitive. Some seem important simply because they arrive loudly. But loud doesn't always mean important. One thing I've noticed over the years is that many people assume every thought deserves investigating. It doesn't. Imagine you're making breakfast. Out of nowhere, a strange thought appears. It surprises you. Maybe it doesn't even fit your values or personality. Immediately you wonder, why did I think that? Does that say something about me? For many people, that's where the distress begins. Not because of the thought itself, but because of the meaning they attach to it. Psychologists sometimes refer to these as intrusive thoughts. They're unwanted, unexpected, and importantly, having an intrusive thought doesn't mean you want it to happen. It doesn't define your character. In fact, research suggests that intrusive thoughts are remarkably common. The difference isn't whether people experience them, it's how much attention they give them. Picture someone sitting beside a river. Leaves float past on the surface of the water. Some drift by unnoticed. One leaf catches their attention. They jump into the river to grab it. Soon, they're no longer watching the river, they're struggling against the current. Sometimes our thoughts work like that. The thought isn't what traps us, it's climbing into the river with it. There's another type of thought that's worth paying attention to, the quiet thought. The one that keeps returning because something genuinely matters. Perhaps you've been feeling exhausted for weeks. A thought keeps appearing. I can't keep living at this pace. That's different. Not because it's louder, because it reflects something important about your well-being. So how do we tell the difference? Here's one question I often encourage people to ask. Is this thought asking for my attention or simply demanding it? Those are very different things. Fear often demands attention. Values quietly ask for it. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Fear often demands attention. Values quietly ask for it. For example, everyone probably thinks I'm incompetent. That thought demands immediate attention. Compare it with, I'd like to become more confident speaking in meetings. That thought points towards growth. One creates fear, the other creates direction. William James once wrote, my experience is what I agree to attend to. That's a remarkable sentence because it reminds us that attention shapes experience. Not every thought deserves equal space in your mind. Some deserve curiosity, some deserve action, and some simply deserve to pass by. Here's something worth sitting with. Attention is one of the most valuable things you own. Every thought is competing for it. The question isn't, can I stop every thought? The question is, which thoughts are worth following? As we finish today's conversation, here's something I'd invite you to notice over the next few days. The next time a thought appears and immediately captures your attention, pause. Then ask yourself, is this thought helping me move towards the life I want or simply pulling me away from the present? Sometimes that single question changes everything. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, take care of yourself.